I think this is the main event of the weekend. Would you agree? The Ravens at the Bills. That's the Sunday 6:30 game. The Bills are 1.5 point home dogs to Baltimore. Over under is 51.5. This is where I have to take the emotion out of it because I don't love Buffalo. I never have. I think their fans are idiots. Sean McVay looks like someone I used to work for, and I just want to thumb him in the eye. McDermott, sorry. No, not McVay. Yeah, I don't have that much hate for McVay, but McDermott, I would just want to thumb him in the eye and push his little body over. But that said, these are two teams that can put up points, and this is moment number one for Lamar Jackson in trying to get the playoff credibility. Because, Jay, I don't care what anybody says. You go on the road, you lose to the Bills, and Josh Allen's going to win the MVP this year. You're now kind of saying that Josh Allen is sort of elevated as that number 2 quarterback in the AFC if people already haven't put him there over Lamar right now.
The fact that one of these two quarterbacks is not going to be in the championship game is going to be a really tough pill to swallow for either one. It's such a fascinating matchup. You know, these teams are elite. And we just quickly to jump back to the Chiefs. Once again, you got the Texans coming in town. These two guys beat each other up. Instead of going on the road and beating both of them as you did last year, they beat each other up and then they come to town. I'm so fascinated by this game. I bet on the Ravens 6-1 to win the Super Bowl before the postseason started. I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I believe that it is Lamar's time. I think there's going to be some weather, not really a factor. Lamar Jackson's been good in cold weather, and I think his mobility helps in cold weather. After watching Buffalo last week, though, if I'm being honest with you, I have great hesitation in going heavy to the window on the Ravens here. As much as I still believe it's Lamar's time, I think this is as much of a coin flip game as you could ever have, right? They did face in week 4, long time ago, 35-10 win for the Ravens. Derrick Henry ran all over Buffalo that day, 199 yards. I still, gun to my head, I go Ravens here, Gresh. I think it's their time. I think they do enough. That defense has been very, very good. Really, since week 11, I think been the best defense in football, arguably, the Baltimore Ravens. And I think that they're going to be able to open things up in a way that's going to give Buffalo some problems. I'm going to talk about intuition and not analytics. I feel as though I'm going to wake up Monday morning. I feel as though at the end of the game, I'm going to see the Josh Allen disappointed press conference, not the Lamar Jackson one. And I think Lamar Jackson has a great chance to go to Kansas City and sort of get it done. So I'm going Ravens here. I see it at -1 most places. I'd buy it back to 1. I'm not laying 1.5. I think this could be a great, close, 28-27, but give me Baltimore.
Normally in a game like this, I would give an advantage to the team with the better kicker. However, Justin Tucker historically has been good, but this year he hasn't been his normal great self. And we're talking about kicking in Buffalo where it's outdoors, the ball's going to be cold, and the wind is ultimately at some point going to be a factor in that game. And that to me is what this could really come down to. I'm feeling you. I would feel much better if this were a pick 'em, then it's just money line and I'm playing even. I'm not comfortable laying a point, one way or another. But look, I go home dog here. I hate the Bills, but if you're going to give me the home team in a close game +1.5, even if Baltimore ends up winning by 1, I'm still kind of covered at this point. And I want to believe that this is the Ravens' time, Jay. I want to believe that Lamar Jackson has the right horse behind him in the backfield in Derrick Henry to be able to overcome Buffalo and all the weaponry that Josh Allen is going to throw to. But something just tells me the kicking game is a factor in the team that loses. Somebody is missing a kick that they should hit that would end up winning the game for the other side and tilting it the other way. I'm just going with the kicker.
No, I hear you, and I think it's fascinating, right? We didn't really have, I know we had some upsets in terms of close games, but we didn't have that. Wow. Right. We didn't have a big upset. Would you agree with that? Simply put?
Correct.
So if they're going to be some sort of, right, where is there going to be, right? Or is it just going to be chalk all the way through? Can the Texans do something so that the winner of this Ravens-Bills game could actually host the AFC Championship, right? Could the Chiefs fall flat? It's just fascinating me. This league is so interesting to me. I can't get enough of it. When I sit down to do this work that is preparing the NFL, what a gift it is. I'm just really interested to see. I felt as though I saw the board pretty well last weekend. My sportsbook account would indicate such, but this board doesn't feel as good for me. As much as I like the Ravens and like them going into the postseason, now that I see that matchup on paper against the Bills, it scares me. But one bet I want to give you, and I know we're up against the clock here a little bit, but I like the Lions plus 110 or plus 105 to come out of the NFC. I like the way the bracket's shaken out for them. I talked about the points earlier today. I think they find a way to get through Washington. I probably like the points, but I think the Lions find a way to win that game. And I just don't believe in Philadelphia. So whether it's the Rams that goes in and beats them, even if Philadelphia emerges victorious, there's too much mojo for me in Detroit to think that they stumble in either one of these two games. So my brother played this down at Seminole down here, Coconut Creek, Florida, but I like the Lions to win the conference. I bet on the Eagles. I gave out the Eagles as my Super Bowl pick on oddshark.com. Maybe before the postseason started. But right now, I like Detroit, and I'm rooting for Detroit. Nothing would give me greater pleasure than have the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl.
I feel like Philly is the better team, but right now, I got to see what happens this week because Philly was not impressive. And if the week of rest gives the Lions exactly what they need, even just on offense, Jay, I'm kind of vibing you. That is enough for them to be able to get to the Super Bowl